अस्सलाम वालेकुम। बोलो यार ये
अस्सलामुअलैकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम सलाम जी।
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
अच्छा बस माशाल्लाह पार्टिसिपेंट ज्वाइन करते जा रहे हैं, तो अभी थोड़ी देर में इंशाल्लाह स्टार्ट करते हैं। आजम साहब भी आ रहे हैं इंशाल्लाह। तो
वालेकुम।
अच्छा तो आगे
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम सर।
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
किसी ने आपसे एक छोटे से क्वेश्चन था कि अभी जो 6 दिसंबर को इवेंट होगा प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे, क्या वो ऑनलाइन होगा या फिजिकल होगा?
वो ऑनलाइन होगा।
ओके सर, टाइमिंग्स वगैरह क्योंकि हमें बताया नहीं गया, हमने पहले से प्रिपेयर करनी है।
हाँ वो सब हम अभी अब बताएंगे आपको, उसकी तफसील में विल गो लेटर ऑन। we'll have
Thank you, sir.
तमाम ये coordinators will contact you. उन सब का plan will go in more detail with you. तो अभी कितने हैं आपस? Almost we have almoस्ट 100 participants.
यस सर।
जी सर, आप कंटिन्यूअसली
तो-
ज्वाइन भी कर रहे हैं, तो
तो
असल में हाँ थोड़ा अगर टाइम दे दें।
बिस्मिल्लाह करते हैं। अभी कितने 8:04 हो चुके हैं, तो
चलो ओके।
हाँ ठीक टाइम। तो
अच्छा गाइस, आप लोग जो भी
स्क्रीन?
जी सर, ये सर आपकी स्क्रीन नजर आ रही है। और गाइस जो लोग भी ऐड होते जा रहे हैं, प्लीज आप लोग अपने माइक साथ साथ म्यूट करते जाइए।
अच्छा, इसमें एडमिन कौन है? हु हैज द कंट्रोल ऑफ द माइक्स?
सर आप हैं और कहाफा है।
जी सर मेरे पास है। अगर बोलते हैं तो मैं अभी फॉर टाइम बिंग सबको म्यूट कर देता हूँ।
हाँ
म्यूट कर दे, सबको आवाज क्लियर आ रही है।
सबको म्यूट कर दें फिर ऑन माइक।
ठीक है।
डॉक्टर आजम आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लें प्लीज।
ठीक है। अच्छा, तो सबसे पहले आप सबको मैं बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देता हूँ कि यू हैव joined the elite club of the winners of the citywide National Bank competition, जो कि first of its kind in the world, और आप लोगों ने शिरकत की और ये historic program था. So congratulations, you've passed the first step. You're now entering into the second phase of the competition. So if you're seeing the screen, you're in the right place, because the topic of this workshop, it is a workshop, is how do you make a presentation, especially for startups, new businesses, new ideas. How do you make a better presentation to investors, to whoever your audience is? So I will try to share some thoughts in that topic. It's an interactive session. There's a lot of discussion. I'm just putting some thoughts for you to think through. And क्योंकि आप सबके projects अलग-अलग type के हैं, there is no standard one way of presenting things, because there is no one idea which is standard. So I'll give talks about different concepts and make sure that we are on the same page. So again, for those you don't know, I'm Azam Arastu. I'm from Los Angeles, or California, and I'm leading this whole NIB program from here. So let's continue.
आप सर वहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी में होते हैं, लॉस एंजल्स में?
मैं एक्चुअली यूनिवर्सिटी में भी हूँ. I teach here at UCLA and USC, यूनिवर्सिटी कैलिफोर्निया में. But the same, वो मेरा मेन जॉब नहीं है. मैं यहाँ पर हूँ. I've been working in Boeing company for almost 35 years. My field is space and satellite technology. But my PhD है electrical engineering में from London, and I have done most of my work has been in satellite development, and I've been a chief engineer of Boeing Space Systems, or and also in developed did a lot of very interesting projects around the world for all kinds of satellites. So that is my main area. But in that process, in the last 30-35 years, I've done a lot of technology development work across the world, leading the technology development within the Boeing company. Plus, I had joint venture collaborations with many different countries and companies within the United States and Europe and Japan, especially with Australia, and many countries, or पूरे United US scale national labs के अंदर. So I have done technology development on all kinds of high technology programs. So थोड़ी बहुत experience है इस चीज के अंदर, and that's what I would like to share and make sure we help the younger generation in Pakistan to come up with this, to jump into this bandwagon and help make Pakistan the prosperous and knowledge-based economy. That's what my background is.
And sir, where are you from Pakistan?
I am from Pakistan, from Karachi. I joined NID. I did my basic schooling in Karachi, and then I did my intermediate in Karachi. I joined NID, and then I left. I got a scholarship to go to US, go to UK. Did my degree, master's, PhD from Imperial College, London, and then went from States, from there to California. And I've been in California for about 35 years.
Okay, thank you, sir.
My slide does not, there you go. So why are we here? What I want to do is to learn about how to pitch a new business based on a new
sorry,
idea.
sir. Sorry to cutting you. आपकी फर्स्ट स्लाइड जो है टाइटल वाली वही आ रही है, अगर आपने आपको
I have moved to the new slide. I can see the slide here. I think
जी,
there's
वो
lot of delay.
रिज्यूम स्लाइड शो आ रहा है ना, उस पर क्लिक करना है जो
Resume slideshow. No, I don't see that. I see new second slide here.
नहीं,
So
हमारे
you
पास
can try unsharing and then sharing again. That would fix the problem.
Okay, let me try that. Can you see now?
जी सर, सेकंड स्लाइड पे जाइएगा सर।
जी जी नजर आ रही है आपकी स्लाइड।
Now I'll go.
The presentation workshop.
Yeah. I'll go in slide mode. Now can you see?
नहीं सर, सेकंड स्लाइड नहीं आ रही आपकी, फर्स्ट स्लाइड ही आ रही है।
There is an arrow up there. You have to like on the presentation mode. That's where you have to go.
Yeah, I did. That's where I am. But I think I can see my slides are changing here.
स्क्रीन शेयर कर दें फिर आ जाएगी।
I am. एक second. Let me. Can you see the slides now?
जी, अब आ रही है बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली।
So I think there's an error. There's an issue. Let me just. If you can see the slide, I'll just keep it like this.
Why we are here?
ठीक है?
Right.
No, you can't see it still?
Yes.
Okay, so can you see the slide saying, why are we here?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see that.
So we'll explore some ideas on how to pitch new business based on new idea most effectively in 5 to 7 minutes. So there are a few words here: new business, new idea, effective presentation, and in 5 to 7 minutes. These are the key things. And ये तमाम constraints हमने आपको दिए हैं. आपको हमने बताया कि भी आपका new business कैसा होगा. आपने नया idea लाया है, effective presentation करनी है, और सिर्फ 5-7 मिनट दिए. तो ये सब चीज़ें आसान नहीं. और तो इसमें दो चीज़ें होती है. एक ये है कि presentation का content क्या है, what are we presenting, and then how. The second thing is presentation delivery. Communication में ये है कि basically आपके पास तमाम ideas हैं, and you have to take your brain and transplant it to the people who are listening to you in a most effective 5 minutes में बताएं. That is, it's not easy. ये जो है किसी के बस की बात नहीं है. It's very, very difficult, and it takes a lot of experience, a lot of polishing to get that. So we'll explore those ideas, both from presentation content and delivery. So let's start with presentation content. We in your first round, I was thinking of providing a presentation template to all of you. कि भाई ये इस तरह आप presentation करें. I even put a template together, but then I thought कि नहीं, आप लोग, I would leave your ideas, leave you to be more creative and present your ideas in the best possible way. But हमने ये देखा कि I think कईयों ने अच्छा किया, but there were a lot of people who were really struggling. They were really struggling कि they did not know what to present, किन चीज़ों को लेके आए, किन चीज़ों को रख, नए ideas हैं, and they were. So we found कि जो है that was a big problem for a lot of people, and this is the time we should, for the next round, help, provide some kind of guidance कि भी ये चीज़ें ज़रूरी हैं, इन चीज़ों को आप focus करें, इन चीज़ों को present करें, ताकि we can go forward. So this, in the provincial side, we will attempt to do that. So what we have done, and I think you all should have got a chart like this in your emails. What I've done is try to say कि in the presentation deck, 5 minutes आपको मिले हैं. So you should not have more than 5 to 7, maybe 10 slides max. 10-12 स्लाइड्स हैं जो ये आपके पास एक प्रेजेंटेशन पैकेज बना होगा। ये
सर ये आपकी स्लाइड शो नहीं हो रही, चेंज नहीं हो रही।
I think it's still on the second slide.
there's some delay, then I think there's something happening. I can see it here.
सर आजम, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, आप कहाफा को शेयर कर दें अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन,
हाँ, कहाँ
वो
पर
यहाँ से शेयर कर सकते हैं।
I can do that. Yeah, if can you see this slide as is?
Yes.
So
Yes.
why don't I do that? I think going into presentation mode is a problem.
Exactly.
ठीक है?
Yeah, this is fine.
थोड़ा इंटरनेट डिले है,
हाँ,
वो इस वजह से भी
can you
शायद हो
see it like
जाता है।
this?
So it's fine.
ये नजर आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes.
ठीक है, तो ये
Yes,
करते हैं।
yes, sir.
So let's continue. तो ये डेक बनाया है, ये इसमें 10-12 स्लाइड्स हैं, बट इसमें से I've said कि कौन सी स्लाइड्स ऐसी होना चाहिए जो कि आर मस्ट, तो मैंडेटरी चेक किया है कि दिस इज द मिनिमम सेट दैट यू मस्ट हैव, एंड we will go through each one of those slides in some detail. So first is of course the title slide, where problem statement kya hai aapka, which shows what the unmet need is, what are the pain points, and try to be quantitative in this slide. फिर दूसरी चीज ये कि आपकी मार्केट क्या है, आप जो प्रॉब्लम आपने लिया है वो प्रॉब्लम कितनी लोगों को हेल्प कर सकती है सॉल्व करने में. So you need to understand the market size, how big. इसमें थोड़े फैक्ट्स होने चाहिए कि कितने लोग होंगे, इतनी या इतना एरिया होगा, whatever, because since आपके तमाम programs are different, you're all coming from very different. We are exploring 6 sectors, which is very wide. So I will share some thoughts into how to get that. Plus ये टोटल मार्केट हमारी ये है, बट उसके एड्रेसेबल मार्केट कितनी है, हाउ मच यू आर गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट, वो बताएं कुछ चीजें. दैट्स एनालिसिस हैज टू बी देयर. फिर देन कम्स टू से आपका सोल्यूशन क्या है, आपका जो प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट ने बताया, देन मार्केट अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या है, देन नेक्स्ट थिंग इज व्हाट इज योर सोल्यूशन, आपने इस प्रॉब्लम को किस तरह सॉल्व किया. दिस यू हैव टू वेरी स्पेसिफिक, यहाँ बताएं क्या है. तो ये भी जरूरी, ये भी जरूरी. आई एम गोइंग टू गो ईच ऑफ दीस चार्ट्स इन मोर डिटेल्स. फिर इसका रेलेवेंस क्या है फॉर द मीटिंग द नेशनल चैलेंजेस. तो ये भी जो हमारा NIB प्रोग्राम के साथ किस तरह से, वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट इन अ मिनट. फिर अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट साइड इज कि आपकी टीम क्या है, हु आर, इज इट योर सिंगल पर्सन या आपने और किसको अपनी टीम में रखा हुआ है, आपने क्या स्ट्रेटेजिक रिलेशनशिप बनाई है between organizations. Again, that's an important chart. Here, then the next one is competitive landscape. आप दुनिया में अकेले ही हैं कि दुनिया में और भी कोई है ये इस तरह के काम कर रहा है, तो कौन है. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बताएं कि भाई कि और ये and understand your competitive landscape. So a very quick easy way of doing it. फिर then come to your business model, कि आपने जो आइडिया लिया है उसको आपने कैसा मोनेटाइज किया, हाउ डू यू मेक अ बिजनेस आउट ऑफ इट, एंड हाउ यू गो टू व्हाट इज योर गो टू मार्केट स्ट्रेटजी. एंड देन ये सब बताने के बाद देन यू आस्क क्वेश्चन, जो ऑडियंस होगी, जो भी आपकी ऑडियंस है, कि भाई आपको चाहिए क्या उनसे, व्हाई आर यू प्रेजेंटिंग. आप 50 लाख के सामने, 50 लोगों के सामने है, 10 लोग, व्हाटएवर, 10 लोग हैं, इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, गवर्नमेंट है, academia hai, why are you in front of them, what are you asking, you have to be very very clear in that. So wo uske bhi techniques hain, we will talk about that. Phir then comes ki aapka financial model kya hai. You need to know कि आपको कितने पैसे चाहिए, कितने आप कैसे इस्तेमाल करेंगे उसको, बिजनेस कैसे बनेगा, आपका ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट्स कब होंगे, आपकी कॉस्ट क्या होगी, एक्सपेंसेस क्या होंगे, द बेसिक फाइनेंशियल मॉडल. अगेन ये तमाम चीजें ये कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है, एंड यू शुड नॉट मेक इट. वन थिंग आई वांट टू स्ट्रेस हियर, दिस हैज टू बी सिंप्लीफाइड सो मच, वेरी सो मच कि किसी बच्चे को भी समझ में आ जाए. दैट इज द गोल, एंड इट शुड बी डन at a 30,000 foot level, not don't go into detail. So again, that's what I'm going to talk about. And then करने के बाद, then you summarize it, and then you walk off. That's what you need to do in 5 minutes. Let's talk about how do you do this in the most effective manner. First slide is the title slide. Title slide should be very simple. All it should say कि मैं फलां हूँ, मेरा नाम ये है, मैं बैकग्राउंड ये नहीं कि आप 2 घंटे का बैकग्राउंड दें या nothing. Just imagine this slide, you should not spend more than 30 seconds, 25 seconds, 15 seconds should be enough. Who you are, what you are, people will see you, you adjust you, and इसके अपने कंपनी का नाम होगा, लोगो होगा, प्रोडक्ट का नाम होगा, whatever it is, and उसमें आप basically all you're doing is कि आप audience के सामने आए first time, you make eyes contact and you hook the audience. कि आपने grab कर लिया कि 5 मिनट के लिए आपने उनकी आंखें आपके साथ grab हो जाए. That's your goal. और उसमें आपका चेहरा आ जाएगा सामने, आपका नाम क्या है एंड आपकी कंपनी के क्या है और किस आइडिया को आप कर रहे हैं, किस प्रॉब्लम को. That is what the whole game is. So as effectively as possible, and this should be done at high, and this is where you set your energy level. Okay. अब आए हैं मैदान में and you give me 5 minutes and I'll see you how I'm going to change the world. You know, exciting, energetic, and you hook the audience because that's what. So don't put a lot of information, lot of clutter. Don't do a lot of titles and nothing. You don't need all that. जितना simple आप चार्ट रखेंगे वो देखें. ये audience जो होगी आपकी could be many things. The audience could be investors, could be your university professors, could be government organization. Depend करता है आप किसके सामने गए. तो उनका सबका attention span is not a lot. In fact, normally आप किसी चीज में जाते हैं attention span 4-5 minutes. That's why these presentations are kept to 5 minutes. So you want to make sure कि उसमें से भी 1-2 मिनट जो peak है वो peak को आप वो capture करें. So only put things on the chart which you want them to remember. Don't put anything else. You might defocus them. They'll think about something detailed which you don't want and you move out from the main point. So that is the biggest problem most people have. अच्छा, now come to this thing. आपने इंट्रोड्यूस कर लिया, आपका नाम क्या है, आपका प्रोडक्ट का एक पिक्चर आ गई, वेरी सिंपल, नॉट अ वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पिक्चर, एंड या लोगो क्या होगा. तो ओके, नाउ पीपल रिमेंबर कि अच्छा ये फला ABC है, इसने ये बनाया. अब आप आएंगे प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है क्या. हियर यू डिफाइन कि व्हाट प्रॉब्लम आर यू सॉल्विंग. आई मीन एज आई सेड कि वी हैव कास्ट अ वाइट नेट इन दिस रिस्पेक्ट कि आपके पास 6 सेक्टर्स हमने दिए हुए हैं, नेशनल प्रॉब्लम्स हमने दिए हैं. हमने आपको इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम बना के बनाया हुआ है. इसमें से आपने कहा कि ये प्रॉब्लम है. ऐसा समझाएं कि हर एक कुछ समझ आ सके. डोंट अस्यूम कि जो आप डोंट फोकस ऑन वन पर्सन्स टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज. इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. ट्राई टू बी एट अ हाई लेवल एंड वेरी सिंपली डोंट. This is another place where people go into so much detail. You get stuck into this slide for 1, 2 or 3 minutes, defining all the background. बाबा आदम के ज़माने से क्या हुआ था, उनके साथ कौन सी developments हुई हैं, न्यूटन ने क्या किया, आइंस्टाइन ने. No point. Everybody knows all that. Come to the point. ये बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. पाकिस्तान में पानी का इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. ये सिटीज में गंदा पानी मिलता है. इस चीज को हमने लेकिन बेसिकली हमारा ये पीने का पानी हमारे पास नहीं है. तो उसको हम ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे. इस चीज को हम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. ये प्रॉब्लम पूरे ये शहर का भी नहीं है, पूरे मुल्क का है. एंड द स्टोरी मूव ऑन. एवरीबडी नीड्स टू नोस द डिटेल. सो दैट्स द होल थिंग. एंड अगेन बी वेरी सिंपल, लिमिटेड टेक्स्ट, प्रिफर ग्राफिक्स. ग्राफिक्स में आप एक पिक्चर में आप 1000 words कह सकते हैं, which you all know. So keep it simple. Use graphics to pass the ideas, and focus on what problem are you solving and why should the audience care? आपके सामने जो लोग बैठे हैं, why do they care? तो ऐसी प्रॉब्लम होना चाहिए कि ऐसा आप इसको फ्रेज करें कि उनको पता चले हाँ यार ये दिस इज बेसिकली यू शो योर पेन पॉइंट्स, हाँ ये हमारी दुख की रग है, तो इसको हमने पकड़ा है, हाँ ये हाँ यार ये पानी ये तो बिल्कुल सही है कि ये दिस थिंग इज सर्टेनली अ प्रॉब्लम, राइट? पानी का प्रॉब्लम है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का प्रॉब्लम है, एनवायरनमेंट का प्रॉब्लम है, एग्रीकल्चर का प्रॉब्लम है कि हमारा क्रॉप खराब हो जाती है, हमारी salinity के अंदर, whatever, ऐसा हो कि everybody should immediately, but again don't waste time in unnecessary background details. I'll tell you, I've sat through several presentations, people spend so much time on here because they spend and then they don't have any time to go to this, so spend it, use effectively and then move on. फिर नेक्स्ट आता है कि भाई मार्केट अपॉर्चुनिटी है क्या, कितना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, तो कितने लोग इफेक्टेड हैं इससे। ये पानी का प्रॉब्लम इस पूरे नेशन का है, तो फॉर एग्जांपल या आप कोई ऐप बना रहे हैं तो उस चीज के लिए ये कितने लोग इससे इफेक्टेड हैं ओवरऑल, फिर कितने लोग इससे हो सकते हैं कि आप इसको एड्रेस कर सकते हैं, और आपकी टारगेट इसमें बेसिकली ये बताएं कि इतने लोग मार्केट में अवेलेबल हैं, बट हम चाह रहे हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल पूरे पाकिस्तान को अफेक्टेड है, बट नाउ वी से कि मैं लाहौर से हूं तो पूरे लाहौर में दीज पीपल आई कैन एड्रेस, बट इनिशियली आई एम ओनली टारगेटिंग मे बी द गुलबर्ग एरिया. So this is my original target area for launching this app. So you know कि this picture इस तरह से इस तरह present करने में क्या होगा कि audience बोले कि हाँ that's true यार, ये तो I can immediately, or you're passing a message कि although I'm starting from say Gulbarg, but I can easily go up to Lahore and then expand to Pakistan. So basically the scale factor is you're showing in this chart without going into too many details. So the audience will take a lot of lessons out of it. Present it in this kind of form. There are other techniques also कि हमने कहा कि देखें ये हम तो एक छोटा सा share of the total market ले रहे हैं, so but growth is enormous, right? So this is the kind of things you should know very clearly and use these techniques to express okay, yeah, there's plenty of volume that you can go through. So this is an important chart. फिर that's it, आपने प्रॉब्लम बता दिया, कितना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, आपका सॉल्यूशन, right? That's it. You don't need to go into theory of physics in the back and or creation of Pakistan or history of mankind. Don't need to do all that. I have seen, by the way, I have seen a lot of presentations which we spent going into too many details. फिर अब आ जाए सॉल्यूशन के ऊपर. हमारा आपका आइडिया है क्या? ओके, प्रोडक्ट है, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट है, कोई ऐप है या सर्किट है या whatever concept है आपका. Very simple. Say what the idea is, preferably, and this must relate to what the problem you talked about. ये नहीं कि आपने solution बता रहे हैं लेकिन the problem आपने बताया वो कुछ और था. Specific, right? This is very important. And ये जो बातें कह रहा हूँ ये this will not happen in the first go round. आप एक slide deck बनाएंगे, you'll have to go look at it, present it to somebody else. They will say कि नहीं. You'll have to do this several times before you get it. It's a very iterative process. And there are many companies in the world who specialize in this. उनका काम ही ये है to help entrepreneurs to develop these charts. So it's not an easy thing. Believe me, I totally understand. So you must make sure very good relevance to a problem that you showed in slide number 2 in the solution. Try to be visual as possible. Don't have too many words. Pictures, screenshots, or even better, आपने अगर prototype बनाया, make a small video, because that picture or a video tells thousands of words. एक 15-second video में आप you can explain more that you can explain that in the whole 5-page presentation chart. So use that because time आपके पास बहुत कम है. Plus, it shows many things. If people can understand what your solution is, then it also passes a message up to maturity level. Remember, हमने और एक criteria था कि maturity क्या है. So maturity level is described by the picture, especially video. A working model आपने बना दिया है. So if I'm an investor, I say, oh yeah, this is absolutely it. It's not just a paper idea. This is real, and I can see it happening. In these presentations, there were some students who did that, who actually made some very good presentations. They actually made models, they built prototypes. Prototypes doesn't have to be full scale, just a basic scale, but it demonstrated the concept. That's huge. So wo kare. But again, brief videos. Make sure video is no more than 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever. If you're developing an app, you can develop an app using screenshot को आप वो कर सकते हैं. इसको वीडियो बना सकते हैं. वो भी बड़ा अच्छा तकनीक है. It shows very clearly. बड़ा आसान समझ में आता है. Otherwise, you don't know how can you explain कि मैं ये बटन दबाऊंगा. It's not. Sharing this is very easy. Again, I've seen many presentations जिसमें ये कहा कि भाई ये मेरा आइडिया है लेकिन उसमें गवर्नमेंट को ये चाहिए, उनको ये पॉलिसी करना चेंज करना है. Somebody else should do this. वो अगर ये कर दें तो हमारा काम हो जाएगा. Completely wrong. Don't state what you are doing, not what you want others to do. I've seen many presentations. इनको तो गवर्नमेंट उनको ये फैसिलिटी कर दें, वो अगर ये कर दें तो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. नो, व्हाट आई हियर, आप क्यों आए हैं सामने? प्लीज मेक श्योर डोंट डू दैट. बिल्कुल आपका सोल्यूशन है, यू आर इन्वेस्टर, आप बताएं कि व्हाट आर यू डूइंग. हाँ, आप ये कह सकते हैं अगर आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में ये है कि सामने कोई गवर्नमेंट के हो या कोई अदर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो या कोई पॉलिसी मेकर हो या कोई कंसल्टेंट हो, अगर उनसे मदद ये चाहते हैं कि आप पॉलिसी करें, वो ठीक है, वो आप बता सकते हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम अगर आप सॉल्व, बट उसमें आपका आस्क शुड बी, आई विल टाई इट अप इन द एंड कि भाई अगर आपने ये पॉलिसी चेंज की, या आपने टैक्स बेनिफिट दिया, आपने ये किया, तो ये प्रॉब्लम हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. वो अलग है, बट दैट्स जनरली स्पीकिंग, डोंट डू दैट प्लीज. दैट्स अ बिग मिस्टेक. तो ये भी अगर आपने फॉर एग्जांपल वर्चुअल रियलिटी का बनाया है या यू बिल्ड अ प्रोटोटाइप सर्किट, शो इट. दिस इज अ इंपॉर्टेंट चार्ट. फिर आपका बिजनेस मॉडल क्या है? दिस इज अनदर वन. दिस इज वेयर पीपल स्ट्रगल अ लॉट टू से. You should be able to say in one sentence, what are you trying to do? So what I've done here is this. I've given an example. I've given a template. ये एक सेंटेंस है. अगर आप इस सेंटेंस को पूरा कर सकें, यहाँ पर आपकी कंपनी का नाम, put your company name, your type of business, your product, your target customer, solution, and the competition. Your company name, for example, say Arastu Limited is a software business who sells an app to for financial to target customers. में ये होगा कि for example in business in B2B, let me say sells an app in terms of something, and who provide a specific solution. And who and this is better than any other your competitors, main competitors. If you can complete this sentence by filling in the right groups, then you are basically have it. So try to do this. This is, you put your company's name, which particular business and idea that you are in, exactly what product or service that you are providing. आपकी target customer क्या है? Who needs this particular solution? Okay, they need an ease of use, or they need a particular seat type. They need a whatever. I mean, it's but it does not get from your competition. कि आप जो unique जो चीज बता रहे हैं, although competitions हैं, but for example, they don't get the nationwide coverage. They don't get this at the low cost. They don't get at this at a at an efficiency of 80%, whatever uniqueness बता रहे हैं कि आप competition, तो देखें ना, ये एक sentence में, if you आप, I would challenge all of you to practice that इस sentence के लिए, ठीक है? Then how will you monetize your idea, your product? ये चीज अपने बनाइए, ये business model आपके बन गया, फिर then big thing is इस idea और product को और इस service को, उससे आप पैसे कैसे बनाएंगे? Again, there are many different ways of making money. Either अगर आप चीजें को डायरेक्टली बेचेंगे, या उसको लाइसेंस करेंगे, या उसको मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन रखेंगे, डिपेंडिंग ऑन आपका आइडिया क्या है, किस डोमेन में आपका आपके प्रोडक्ट है. Then you go to market strategy. Go to market strategy जो होती है वो simply ये है कि this if you can see this block here, कि if you answer a question, what, focus on what product, what that you have, who are you going to sell to, how are you going to sell to them, and then where are you going to sell that or give that product to them. So if you have that, these things written down clearly, कि आप क्या product दे रहे हैं, क्या service दे रहे हैं, किसको दे रहे हैं, कैसा दे रहे हैं, और कहाँ दे रहे हैं. That's go to market strategy, right? That's it. Don't make it too complicated. ये what, who, where, आप खाली इनमें सिर्फ नाम लिख दें, you've done a very big, what this is doing is it will clear your thinking so much that you can answer these questions very clearly. Forget about answering somebody else. You will answer your own questions. आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीजें clear हो जाएंगी. And a lot of these things are done in such a way that when you do it, you yourself will know whether the business that you're proposing will be successful or not. So it's basically these are tools that will help you filter out the good ideas from the bad ideas, filter out the ones which will make money, and so on. So that's what these things are. You go to market strategy has to be clear. Your business monetization has to be clear. And then this business model, आप ये clear कि आप क्या चीज बना रहे हैं. How are you, किस दुखती नोक को आपने कौन सी दवा खिला रहे हैं, किस तरह से आप उसको किस पेन पॉइंट को एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, and how, and वो ठीक है. ये business model. I can't be more specific because you're coming from all different backgrounds and all these things. What we can do in later sessions, and I hope we want to do later on one-on-one sessions, we'll take one particular sector or one particular idea and then fill up these slides. And I don't mind spending time with individually in building and converting your idea or your business and fill up these gaps here, and specifically आपको बना सकें answering these questions, help you answer these questions. ठीक है. फिर ये हो गया, this is another one people are struggling with. ये है कि how do you show relevance to your sector? ये हमने ये रखा है कि we started off with these 6 sectors. इसमें what you came up, you had to find a particular problem and you solved the problem. So these things you already did. फिर इसमें what I wanted to see was कि how are you thinking of addressing and scaling this problem and to nationwide in particular relevance to Pakistan की geography, Pakistan के लोग, Pakistan की economy, Pakistan के specific problems, इन चीजों को लेकर किस तरह specific help करें, because that is where it is. Again, I've left a general idea here कि इसको आप किस तरह think through. अगर agriculture sector में है तो हमारे agriculture के क्या-क्या issues हैं, उस तरह से address them, come up a couple of key metrics कि भाई ये हमारा agriculture issues हैं, ये item जो मैं बता रहा हूँ इससे ये फायदा होगा. innovation को. E-commerce में अगर है तो there are e-commerce is a very wide field. Again, you can talk about that. Education में, you know, Pakistan में, if there's any place that has problems in education, that is Pakistan. 25 million बच्चे बाहर हैं education के, तो I mean, you can easily address education problem and scale it up across Pakistan. Very easy. Similarly, natural resources हमारे very unique हैं. Health issues, construction. तो easy relevance बता दें मुल्क के लिए. And again, हमने first sectors लिए हैं. So 6 sectors. They're all. I think this should be a very easy slide to make for all of you. Then strategic team and strategic partners. इसमें ये रखें कि again don't go into complicated teams कि हमने फलां ये रखा हुआ है, उनके detail bios कौन कौन हैं और वो इतनी लंबी चौड़ी टीम है. Not really. All you need to say is you have in your team, you have people. This is a time to brag, to say कि हमारे पास A, B, C 3-4 लोग हैं, उनका बायो जरूरी नहीं है. What is important कि वो फंक्शन क्या कर रहे हैं. ये हमारा मार्केटिंग एक्सपर्ट है, ये हमारा टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट है, जैसे लीगल एक्सपर्ट, और इसमें कोई स्टार्स हैं तो उसका आप बताएं कि देखो ये he is already open, he's an ex CEO of this company, so it gives established credibility. But show 3 or 4 people, no more than that. And if you are having a strategic relationship with any particular company, any organization, just unke logo dal. That's it. It gives a tremendous power to the presenter, to the audience, to think, yeah, you are connecting the dots. आपने अपने चाचा मामा ताया को नहीं लिया, ये जो आपने जो ये जो लोग आपकी टीम में हैं, these are people who will help you expand, will help. There are people, they are adding value to the team. They are not people just because they are family members. They may be important too. I'm not saying that don't have them. What I'm saying is that everybody must add value. They have to have a function in the overall team, because the investor is not looking for your family. Investor is looking कि इस business में कैसे succeed करेंगे. So that is the message you want to show कि ये जो proposal आप लेके आए हैं, this is a winning team. जिस तरह a cricket team बनाते हैं. So you know कि cricket team, although a lot of players, but the cricket team composition changes depending where you're playing, who you're playing. You may take the best player and take them out for a particular format. So if I'm a team manager, that's what I will look at. If I'm playing a test cricket, a T20, I don't want a player who is a very good test player in a T20. So make sure the team members are winning team members for that particular business. Very, very important. Then comes to competitive landscape. I did some animations here, but barabar nahi aa rahe the. Anyway, competitive landscape mein, I'll get 2 examples here. For example, aapki company hai which shows a cellular. You know, you're providing a particular idea to be how do you solve a cellular problem. Here is a company, competitive landscape mein dekhi ki there are several other companies in terms of national coverage and degrees of service offered. You can show that there are all these companies operating, but you have a solution which can offer much higher national coverage and at a much higher degree of service degree. So you see, without knocking anybody, इस चीज पे आप बताएं कौन-कौन है इस फील्ड में काम कर रहा है. Don't spend too much time. उनकी because there may be some other people who are heavily invested in other companies. Don't knock them. Just in a way, you show कि आप इस डोमेन में आप क्या कैपेबिलिटीज लेके आ रहे हैं जो दूसरों के पास नहीं है. What is your discriminating advantage? Yes, there are many things. They are also doing a wonderful job, but you are providing more value. Or there is an unmet need. There are some customers who want national coverage, but they want very high degree of service then that is the addressable market that you're taking together. And if I have need that, bingo, you have Mary, yeah, this is my, you have met my need, and I'll say, yeah, perfect. I'll pay a premium for this particular service. So this again, I've seen competitive landscape chart with many very complicated Excel sheets and squares and all that. Don't go into all detail. Simplify. Isme you're passing many messages. You're talking about others' capabilities and other deficiencies also. So without criticizing anybody, you're talking about their deficiencies in a very nice way. At the same time, apni uniqueness bata rahe hain. Another example is on the right-hand side. Same thing. This shows, this x-axis is high quality, then on the negative side is lower quality, then on the y-axis is higher price versus lowest price. So you've got all these different products who are, different quality, different price points. But here's your solution amongst the competitive landscape. You're providing much higher quality and much lower price. So you see, that's it. You don't need to spend 2 hours of this chart. You present it, show it, spend about less than 30 seconds, and you move on. But very, very effective assessment of what the competitors are. Now you come to ask. तो आपने बता दिया प्रॉब्लम क्या है, आप किस तरह सॉल्व करेंगे, आपका बिजनेस मॉडल क्या है, कंपेटिटर्स क्या है. अब आप नाउ यू कम टू द की पॉइंट. व्हाट डू यू वांट फ्रॉम द ऑडियंस? भाई मुझे जो है पैसे चाहिए. बेसिकली 2-3 थिंग्स पीपल कैन आस्क. वन इज आई वांट फंड्स. फंड्स चाहिए कि आई वांट इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए फॉर to launch my product, to expand my product, to grow my product, to market, whatever it is. Be very clear how much you want, what kind of money it is. Is a seed funding, Series A funding, Series B funding, and I'll explain to in a minute what Series A, Series B, and venture capital kis tarah se your model work hota hai. I'll come to the next slide on that. Then and how much you want exactly. Clearly, बताएं. And then उसके लिए normally people ask for आपके business valuation क्या है. If I am asking for say 10 लाख रुपए, तो they will ask me अच्छा आप कहेंगे मुझे 10 लाख रुपए देंगे and I think you can be a 10% partner in my company. So that means my company is worth $1 million. First, so you say, how do you come to the valuation? So you have to have an idea of how to value your business, and that is usually done by your estimated gross sales. Uska times 10 multiple is your valuation. We can go into that in more detail how to do that. But based on your valuation, you can ask for seed funding, and all these things are projections. All these numbers are estimates. You have to be clear. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect accountant and hire, world consultants to do all the accounts. No, you develop basic estimates, give what the assumptions are, and move on. और एक चीज कि मुझे कैसे थे मुझे I need this start के लिए मुझे 2 लाख रुपए चाहिए to go from point A to point B ले जाने के लिए. Normally, I've seen a lot of people and बहुत डरते हुए 50 लाख मांगेंगे. 3 महीने में they fall flat on the face and it does not work. So always ask for more, put some contingencies. But you have to have, and I'm not saying ask more, so much more investors will turn out, because investors also smart. They want to put that money they put in your system or in business, they want it back. They want you to win. Remember, the investors are not shocked. Investors can only get the money back by making you win. So you have to make a winning proposition. Don't undercut yourself. If you ask for less, you're going to fail. Don't set yourself for failure. That's very important. And also, again, here I'm saying, note, it really helps if you can show fundraising traction. उसके क्या मतलब? उसका मतलब ये है कि अगर आपने कहा कि लोग मैंने ये प्रेजेंट किया उस टीम के सामने, उस टीम, एंड दे हैव आल्सो प्रोवाइडेड, उनसे भी मुझे फंडिंग की उम्मीद है, उन्होंने भी मुझे फंडिंग के हेल्प कर रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स के यू ऑलरेडी शोइंग के other people are willing to put money in your project. So if you can show somehow that there is already attraction, that helps a lot. You may not come for funding. Other thing you may want to come here is to be, I want somebody to be my partner, be my strategic partner. So again, the second item is how would you create that winning team? Why do you need person X, Y, Z to be your strategic partner? Because you will say, okay, joining hands in this particular business venture, we can now address this particular market, or we can bring this new capability, or somebody may have a market domain, somebody may have a better production technique. So there are many things hoti hai jiski wajah se strategic partnership बनती है all the time. And then there are other things too. Things maybe you may be talking into a government organization, you may be talking to some other consultant, and you may want support on some policy. So here there's a business to government support ask. So again, this ask could be many different forms. And the point is you have to be very clear, very precise into your funds, how much money, for how long, what kind of money, how are you going to return it, over what period are you going to do it. Very clear, right? Very, very important. Sometimes I've shown this chart somewhere down in the fourth, fifth chart. Sometimes you can put this chart up front. You know, there are different ways depending on your business venture. You can start off your presentation, introduce kiya, your product hai, and you say, here is why I'm here because I want to seek funds for this thing. I want strategic relationship or whatever. And then you go into the rest of the things. Because uske advantage ye hai ki you set the scene right off the bat. Jo aapki audience hai, they will be thinking about what you want all along your presentation. So think through. Just the placing of this chart is optional. It does not, I'm showing it at the end, but you can move it to the front also. Achha, now let me just go. This is a background chart. Okay, startup funding ki cycle kya hai? You may keep hearing this word ke seed funding hai. You know, what do you mean by seed funding? Normal jo startup ki life cycle hoti hai, wo ye hai. If you look at the top bar, I don't know if you can see it. Ek idea hai. This is where most of you are. You come up with an idea, and basically what you do is you take some, what's called FFT funds, which is called friends, family, or fools. They will provide. आप अपने पैसे इस्तेमाल करें या फैमिली के उस आइडिया को थोड़ा बहुत डेवलप करने के लिए, right? So this is where the pre-seed money comes in. Lot of major companies, big companies, in fact all big companies, this is where they start off, and that's where you are, most of you are. So जो लेते हैं कहते हैं हमने पूरी अपनी फैमिली की जमा पूंजी हमने इसमें लगा दी है. That's true. And as I said, I can name hundreds of big companies who did this. They borrowed the money, they sold a house, they sold a car, they do whatever they can to develop an idea in a garage, right? So this is called FFT, pre-seed money. Whoa. And this is when you polish your idea, you develop it, you make a prototype, and then this is the stage where you go to the funding organization to ask for funding. And this is where you ask for seed money. Then you go to some industry, यार मुझे मैं अपने पैसे मैंने पूरे खत्म कर दिए, and I need now, मुझे 5 लाख रुपए चाहिए, 10 लाख रुपए चाहिए, 8 लाख, whatever the money is. Okay, I want to take it now, develop from this initial paper concept or an app. Now I want to hire somebody, I want to hire an IT expert, I want to or go to manufacturing and build a little prototype, whatever, or do some more research and take some, जो भी आपका project है, उसके लिए you need more funds. So आप जाएं, and this is where seed funding comes in. So there are many companies, many finance organizations provide the basic seed funding. And So pre-seed money, if you come down here, it's basically is used for proof of concept, developing prototype, and maybe hiring some of the, some little basic expertise. And typically, in US, this comes to 10K to about $1 million even. But again, these numbers are very subjective. These numbers all based on what your projects are and what. So, but roughly you can see the scale keeps changing. Once you develop this prototype, okay, this product works. Here, then you go to what is called a Series A funding. And this is also, if you can remember, there's another chart I showed you, which showed the TRL levels. This also goes along with that. This is kind of a horizontal version of that, where you develop your prototypes, and now you go to next level of TRL, where you take this idea of product ne banaya hai, usko, then you will be maturing that prototype, and you will be testing it in some real environment. So that requires a lot of funds, because you need to go. So basically, yahan par ko karenge, and then you also want to do some revenue growth. उस चीज को आप market करेंगे, उसको develop करेंगे, they will build up the operation, the branding, the marketing, all that requires money. And so this Series A funding is essential. And normally, this seed money se leke Series A money that most companies fail because they don't have if they don't show a clear path of going to these places and asking the right questions and showing and understanding exactly where are you in this development life cycle. You may think you have an idea, and so today you'll ask him, mujhe 10 mess, and you ask a presenters almost going to Series B level thing, it's not going to work. So be very careful. Make sure you make a plan, and in a proper methodical development cycle, you will understand. And if you have this roadmap in your mind, you will not be frustrated. You will not be, maine 2 saal spend kar diye, I did not. No, because you did not, you were not, all these cycles, this is har ek us tarah se guzarta hai. You will not be the only one. You can't be a 30-year-old person without being a 10-year-old person, and without you being a 20-year-old person, without being a 25-year. So you have to go through those cycles. Some people can go through this loop faster, some can go slower, but the process is the same. Okay, don't be frustrated. If you have this roadmap clean, you will never be frustrated. Here, then you go from Series A funding, which is revenue growth. Then you go. Then your project has become fairly mature. You've developed it, you've tested it in the market, people are buying it. Now you want to expand. So expanding ke liye, now that's where you go for Series B funding. And investors know, okay, because as you go from right to left, your risk level goes down. So my investors would say, yeah, okay, if you already come to Series B, I can give you money because I know product is developed, is shown. So my risk level has gone down. So normally the funding rates change, the interest rates change dramatically from pre-seed to Series C, because the risk level goes down. Okay, so don't ask for pre-seed funding at the same rate as that you will get for Series B, because you will expect the investors will charge you more money for pre-seed because the risk is high. So if you understand this landscape generally, your ask, this I'm showing you because if you do this properly, when you're asking for money, you know, okay, I'm either, which phase are you in? You're in pre-seed, seed, Series A. You will ask properly. And again, because risk is high or risk is low, depending, you make sure you plan for contingencies, ask extra, because खुदा ना खास्ता अगर सी बराबर नहीं हुई, आपकी cost double हो गई. What do you do? You cannot. It's very difficult to go back. Yeah, I made a mistake. I need more money. People won't do that. Credibility is gone. So always have a cushion, and you manage that cushion properly. Okay. So this was an ask. अब आते हैं financial plan के ऊपर. And I want to be clear. Financial plan में again, a lot of people make too much mistakes. Here पे मैं बहुत सारी चीजें बताई, but I'll be mock it down, make it very simple for you. इसमें बहुत कम चीजें हैं. This is your entire business planning, financial planning that you need. उसमें few things. First of all, total revenue. Total revenue, आपका basically that is the gross income from all sources. You know, you can estimate what is that. फिर your fixed cost. There are fixed costs like आपके rent होगी, utilities हैं, salaries हैं, insurance हैं, marketing cost, legal cost वगैरह. Salaries जो fixed salaries हैं. तो ये you must have a pretty good idea कि
फोन पापा का ले लो. पाले बाल बना के आए.
Can you, if you can,
अच्छा ये लो.
Can you mute? Thank you. फिर then the other thing is the variable cost. ठीक है, this is important कि variable cost में वो cost होती है जो आप जो बना रहे हैं, जो products बना रहे हैं, उसके लिए material आप खरीदेंगे. Then there is also labor which is piece rate labor जिसकी cost आप लगा सकते हैं only on for variable cost. Commissions हैं, shipping हैं, product supply, production supplies, licenses वगैरह, ये जाएंगे तमाम variable cost के अंदर. And the total cost that you get is basically the fixed cost plus variable cost. Acha. Then another thing you must also know is what is your cost per unit. आपके एक total cost बनती है 10 लाख और आपने 10 चीजें बनाई हैं तो 1 लाख आपकी cost बनी. So total cost divided by number of units is the cost. So you must have a very clear idea what is your unit cost. And इसमें तो कोई भी, this is true for any business, and and profit आपका जो होगा basically is the total revenue minus total cost, not just the people make a big mistake कि हमने they take the variable cost or no, make sure your profit is total revenue versus minus total cost. Then the thing everybody looks for is where is my break-even point. कि कब हमारे पैसे break even पहुंचेंगे, वो that is the important thing. कि now you come to the right hand chart, this thing. So यहाँ पर I've shown on the x-axis is a quantity sold, y-axis the total revenue dollars. So ये line जो है is total revenue की है, इसके बाद total cost, and you know as you make more and more items, ठीक है, the cost you know total revenue बढ़ती जाती है, total cost should go down because now what you're doing is you're amortizing your fixed cost over multiple units. So then you say कि कितने units आपको बेचने पड़ेंगे to get your break even, आपके पैसे वापस आ जाए. This is the first question any investor will look at, and that's the first question you should ask as an investor. You should ask that too. So by doing this quick sum, again, I don't expect you to do a very detailed, you can just work it out high level कि आपके break even point, कि आपके पैसे 10 lakh unit बनाने पड़ेंगे to get the money back, or if you can get the money back in 10 units, 100 units, you should have an idea and you must present it to the investors for them to say, yes, this is a worthwhile project. And there's another way of looking at this break even analysis, which is called payback period. Payback period में instead of my quantity, yeah, I'll put years. How many years after projection? You 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years after projection की, okay, over how many years will you get your money back? Typically, any good business, if it takes more than 5 years to get the money back, investors will be turned off. Typically, 4 to 5 years is a good, it's a good payback period. Okay? So these are, again, very simple concept. Again, you don't need a big computer simulation. You can do all this on the back of the envelope. Another thing you must also know is what is your customer acquisition cost. All these are you present this to anybody, they will ask this question. What is the customer acquisition cost? It's very simple. All it is how much money you need to get so many more people in your as a customer. For example, अगर आपको आपने 1 लाख खर्च किया मार्केटिंग पर और आपने 10 more customers आ गए, तो आपका customer acquisition cost will be 1000. right? So it's very simple. So a customer acquisition cost will be that. So basically, if you can answer these questions in numbers, break-even points, after total cost, a customer acquisition cost, you have your business plan done. Your financial plan is done. You don't need to go payback period chahiye, your cost unit chahiye. That's it. Don't go into exquisite and very complicated Excel simulations, and no, you may have that, but don't present it. If they ask questions, you can go, but presentation may all you need is very simple 4 or 5 key points in this chart. You don't have to show all these formulas just because they all know. Just break-even points kya hai, aapka acquisition cost per unit kya hai, total as, and if you can show this in a pictorial form, done. That is very, very important. And that's it. Basically, you don't know what you've shown here in this slide कि मैंने आपसे इतने पैसे मांगे, ये मेरा project है, ये अब ये आ गया, तो देखें मैंने आप now within so many years your money will be back in your break-even point and your project is done. Now you summarize, you say here I'm done. You hit home with the 3 or 4 major points that you want to remember, and this chart can be, and then basically you thanks to the audience and you walk off. That's basically it. मैंने तो अभी काफी चीजें बताई detail में because I want to explain the content, but you got the point. Okay, keep it simple, keep it high level, and don't go. You have all the key elements now. Time चल रहा है, तो let me go through a couple of very quick things on presentation delivery. I will spend only 3-4 minutes on this very quickly. This whole thing, don't make it a boring presentation. Tell a story. You put a theme together and you are telling a story. Don't make a big serious presentation. Make it exciting, interesting. And the most important thing is time management. So this, I'm sure you've seen this this analogy many times. It's like, you know, अगर आपसे कहें कि ये glass है, which is basically representing limited amount of time, इसमें there are stones and big stones and small stones, आप किस तरह भरेंगे? And the big stones denote important points, detail points. So I've seen many people do this at the first glass. You know, in the first slide, they're going to start going into excruciating detail about the problem details and background details, and you fill up this glass, all those details. Now, when you start coming to the important charts, they don't have time, just crumbling. And those are the points that you want to eventually, the time is up, and some of the key points, the big points are missing. So don't do this. Absolutely don't waste time in details. Come to the main points first. पहले आप ये बड़े-बड़े जो rocks हैं, वो डालें. Your time के अंदर बड़ी-बड़ी चीजें करें, and then as questions keep coming, if you have more time, then you sprinkle the details on top. Okay, I'm just showing this by a very simple graphic, but you got the point. Time management में make sure hit the main points first. I think that's where I will end the presentation. बाकी के जो है, those are things which are stylish, but these are the key things. I've noticed most presentations fell through this problem. They had a problem in managing time. They were doing a lot of this time kind of things, and they were not telling a story. So with that, I end, or I will leave for questions.
So can we ask questions now?
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
Okay. So first, sir, may I proceed first now?
हाँ, बिल्कुल. Absolutely.
बिल्कुल. Sir, सबसे पहले तो thank you so much for such an amazing presentation. Sir, आपने जो slide number 10 अगर आप अपनी please open कर लें, तो उसमें आपने discuss किया था relevance to the sector. उसमें आपने एक एरो के अंदर लिखा हुआ था नाइस टू हैव, एसेंशियल, मस्ट हैव समथिंग, तो उसमें आप क्या बताना चाह रहे थे? लाइक हमें पता है हमारे सेक्टर में क्या चीजें हैं, लेकिन वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन जस्ट वन थिंग, सो व्हाट डज इट बेसिकली मीन योर प्रेजेंटेशन एनिमेशन, नाइस टू हैव और एसेंशियल्स और मस्ट हैव?
हाँ, ये good point. Actually, this arrow, the reason I was showing this arrow was to ignore this. I'm just trying to show in a means of arrow. Take this bullet points out. That is not I think that was not relevant. It's showing कि इस idea को मैंने किस तरह expand किया.
Exactly.
So that's what it is. This was yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. So then on slide number 13 you mentioned how much to ask. उसमें सर आपने कहा it depends on, मतलब इसमें ये है ना कि सर it depends on the type of investor या the capacity of the investor, because some of the venture capitalists, their pocket is quite big enough, so we can actually ask for a much bigger funding. So do we need to keep a cap in our mind कि यार इससे ज़्यादा हमने नहीं कहना, because हम अपने project की एक तो है ना कि हम let's say if we like should we directly ask for all the cost required to run a startup in seed funding, या seed funding में हमें बिल्कुल ही minimum के ऊपर रह के अपनी मतलब हम कितना अगले बंदे को कहें कि वो attract हमारे साथ attract भी और भागे ना?
Very good question. So एक तो ये कि आपका एक business है and you know कि इस business को आप from point A से point B ले जाना है, तो आपकी cost क्या होगी? You have very clear idea. Now the second thing is that you need to understand who your audience is. If your audience, आपको for example you need 10 crore की ज़रूरत है to take it to your position, and to asking 10 crore is not a possible thing. It's not viable. What then you can do is you can break your ask into packages. कि ये if I get all 10 crores, I'll go from here to here in a year. But if I can get maybe 1 crore now and 2 crores in 2 years' time, then I can first I add this capability. Then if I get more money, I'll get this particular capability. Or if I have this much money, I can add this, go to this. So what that does is to provide options to your audience, investor. Yeah, you know, if I give him this money, he'll go to this point straight away, and I can get my money back at fast. That's right. So you see my point? You break your ask in a proper manner. Did you see my point?
Sir,
Sir, can I enter into the conversation?
Bilkul. It's a workshop.
Sir,
Bilkul.
You mentioned all these points. Okay. Now, how is it possible that we can brief all these things in just 5 minutes? Why? Because 5 minutes are not, that much enough for a presentation to be presented in.
मैंने सबसे पहले slide में क्या कहा था? It's not easy. I totally agree with you. I don't disagree with you at all, 100%. But that is where ये जो condense किया presentation को 5 minutes, इसके लिए it takes a lot of time to do this. So to get your thinking so clear, the only thing is कि 5 minutes में you're only in front of the audience. But इसके background work में you may have spent 6 months or few months to get to this particular point, and that is the key. So we will, and one thing that we are trying to do is we have noticed everybody was struggling because we came up with new ideas, and straight away we going for this. We are thinking of allowing more time for the provincials for you to prepare for this better. And we will provide you more help, more guidance besides this lecture, one-on-one guidance to develop these packages for all of you. So that is, we are discussing that, and you will be hearing from us from the team very soon, if not today.
Assalamualaikum sir.
जी.
सर मेरे सिर्फ 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं. सर मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये था कि ऑन 6 दिसंबर हमें ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंट करना है, तो उसकी टाइमिंग्स वगैरह हमें कब तक इन्फॉर्म कर दी जाएंगी?
You will know today. Today you will know.
ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच. और मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन सर ये है कि आई प्रेजेंट माय आइडिया इन डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड गवर्नमेंट एंड प्राइवेट लेवल बट व्हेन आई गॉट इनटू फाइनल राउंड they say that your device is totally magical. It's a magical idea. How you can implement that? I have a business plan for agriculture device, बस वो कहते हैं एक जादुई मशीन है, आप इससे कैसे कंट्रोल करोगे फील्ड्स को, आप कैसे हर काम कर सकते हो, बल्कि मेरा प्रोटोटाइप उसको एक्सप्लेन करता है। तो मुझे क्या आप 2-3 लाइनों में बता सकते हैं कि मैं एक प्रोजेक्ट को इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने का एक प्रोसेस जनरल वे में कैसे अच्छे से बता सकती हूँ? बिकॉज जो सारी गेम होती है ना, वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पे जब क्वेश्चन किया था उस पे ही होती है। तो मैंने एक दो
आपको मैं ठीक है, आपको मैं इसका जवाब ये दूंगा कि आप अस्यूम करें कि आप ऑडियंस हैं और आपको someone is presenting this, what questions will they ask you? आपने कहा जादू है, that means कि if you think, if they are thinking जादू, that means they are not understanding the things. Figure out what they are not understanding. And so basically, if you quit switching your role from presenter to an audience and from audience to presenter, your presentation package will be much better. Because as soon as you become an audience, you will ask a question in a different way. Okay, so that is the second part. And
can I ask my question?
Okay, guys, just listen to us. एक जिसने हाथ रेज किया हुआ है, हैंड रेज किया हुआ है, प्लीज 1 by 1 आप लोग क्वेश्चन पूछें। अभी सर एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर कर रहे हैं तो उसको कंप्लीट होने दें, और सेकेंडली जिन लोगों ने क्वेश्चन करने हैं वो हैंड रेज कर लें, और 1 by 1 मैं उनको कॉल करती जाऊंगी, आप लोग पूछिए, और प्लीज बी प्रीसाइज। 3-3 4-4 क्वेश्चन आप पूछेंगे, इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम। ठीक है, तो आप चैट में भी अपने क्वेश्चन डाल सकते हैं, लेकिन प्लीज अपनी बारी पे बात कीजिए। सब लोग माइक अनम्यूट करेंगे तो बहुत मैस क्रिएट हो जाएगा।
मैं अपना क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट कर लूं, मैं पूछ रही थी, मेरा सिर्फ एक ही क्वेश्चन। सर आपने जैसे कहा कि आप प्रोजेक्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो, आपका आइडिया, तो आपको टारगेट ऑडियंस क्या होगी, आप उसको सेगमेंट वाइज प्रेजेंट करो कि हमारा एक इस एरिया सेक्टर ये, हमने इसको टारगेट करना है, देन हम इस पे मूव ऑन होंगे। ठीक है, अब सर एग्रीकल्चर एक पूरे पाकिस्तान में है, ठीक है, जो इसका हब है वो पंजाब लेवल पे आता है, और जिस सिटी साहिवाल और ओकारा से मैं बिलोंग करती हूँ, ये एग्रीकल्चर में बहुत अच्छा मानना चाहता है। तो मैंने अपना टारगेट यही सेट किया था कि मैं अपने इलाके से स्टार्ट करूँ, मैंने इस पे किया भी हुआ है। ठीक है, तो क्या मैं फाइनल स्लाइड्स में यही कहूँ कि मेरा अभी आइडिया इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे एक है, क्योंकि सर डाटा बेसिस कलेक्ट करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, ओवर ईयर्स ऑफ पीरियड्स लग जाता है कि आप डाटा एक जगह से कलेक्ट कर रहे हो, दूसरे रीजन से क्या डाटा आ रहा है, फिर उन डाटा बेसिस को एक नेटवर्क के शेप में कंबाइन करना, फिर उनको असेंबल करना।
ठीक है, I got your question. So basically, and again, आप बिल्कुल ये बताएं कि हमने इस मार्केट में टेस्ट किया है, ये एरिया है, इसमें हमने टेस्ट किया मार्केट में, और ये हमारा प्रोडक्ट है, and it works in this area, and that is perfectly okay. You don't have to be very clear with the audience. हमारे जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, जो आपका ऑडियंस है, remember ये लोग, these are smart people. उन्होंने बाल सफेद किए हैं इस मार्केट में, they understand exactly, they know what this, किस तरह फंडिंग होती है, किस तरह डेवलपमेंट होती है, they already have been through the same cycle. So be very honest and very clear. Don't try to say things which are not, don't blow it out, because they will see it. Once they see it कि आपने, you are asking too much, or you don't understand, or आपने, you break the trust, and you're basically, you will not get the funds. So
thank you so much, sir.
That's very important.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, I have 2 questions. Number 1, how many contestants or how many innovators will be selected for the national level from a province? Number 1. And number 2, you talked about a one-to-one contact. If any, we wish to get something clear. Okay. So how is it possible?
Okay. National level pay, what we're doing is we have, I can't remember exactly, but we still have 5 पंजाब से, 4 सिंध से, 2 KPK और 2 ऐसे कुछ, I don't remember exactly, per sector they'll go to national
for
level.
Every sector?
For every sector, right.
Okay.
So,
okay, sir.
और दूसरी चीज ये है कि immediately after this meeting, I'm going another meeting where we're finalizing हमारा schedule, where we are thinking to expand the schedule to allow more time for presentation, especially for provincial and national, and use this time to do more of this training. Not only that, the group training, but also one-on-one training. Plus, our team will break up into different provinces and provide more detailed training for each one of them, specific questions, specific sectors, and maybe take some cases, run through them. So we want you to succeed. हमारा गोल ये है कि आप सबको हम आपकी कंपनीज बनवाएं. That is our goal. हमारी success criteria is that. So we will do whatever it takes to help you do that.
That's great, sir.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है सर.
ओके, एक दफा आप सात बेग को जो है सॉरी जो हैं सात बेग, हाँ जी, इनको एक दफा पूछने दें क्वेश्चन. वो काफी टाइम से उन्होंने हाथ रेज किया हुआ है. और सेकेंडली गाइस कि जो भी आपके पिच से रिलेटेड चीजें हैं वो आप सर से पूछ सकते हैं. बाकी आप अपने जो प्रोविंशियल कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं वो आपको सारी चीजें इन्फॉर्म कर देंगे, क्योंकि इसके बाद हमारी एक मीटिंग है एट 10:30. तो वी हैव वेरी लेस टाइम. तो जो टू द पॉइंट जो टॉपिक से रिलेटेड चीजें हैं वो आप सर से पूछ सकते हैं, ठीक है. बाकी आप अपने कोऑर्डिनेटर से पूछेंगे, दे नो एवरीथिंग, और वो सब सारी चीजें आपको गाइड कर देंगे.
मेरा क्वेश्चन
आज आप क्वेश्चन जी रहमान, आप एक दफा साद को पूछने दें, और काफी देर से उन्होंने हैव किया हुआ.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम साहब, साद बेग हियर. सर काइंडली मुझे ये आपसे थोड़ी सी इंफॉर्मेशन ये चाहिए थी कि अगर कुछ जो हमारा, जैसे मेरा जो आइडिया है वो बेसिकली है पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट का, ठीक है. इट इज नॉट अ बिजनेस मॉडल, इट्स अ पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट आइडिया, इनोवेशन. तो उसको आपने जैसे अभी ये सारी आपने बताया कि जिसको बिजनेस प्लान और फाइनेंशियल प्लान XYZ, तो जो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट की चीजें हैं उसको तो हम बिजनेस प्लान में कन्वर्ट नहीं कर सकते, या अगर कर सकते हैं तो काइंडली गाइड मी. थैंक यू सो मच.
हर चीज को कर सकते हैं. अगेन डिपेंडिंग करता है कि आपका मोनेटाइजेशन जो होती है, जो भी आइडिया है इसको आप किस तरह बिजनेस कन्वर्ट करना है. देयर इज अ वे ऑफ डूइंग इट, बट आई थिंक इन अ ग्रुप सेशन इज डिफिकल्ट. दैट्स व्हाई वी विल हैव टू ब्रेक अप एंड डू वन ऑन वन, एंड वी विल टेक यू, we'll schedule a special time for you, with you. We'll go through and work with you separately.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sir, I have one last question, sir. Sir, can I ask my question? I've been waiting for a long time.
बिल्कुल, please.
Sir, business and financial plan वाली जो आपकी slide है, उसमें आपने जो ग्राफ बनाया है, उसके जो financials हैं, sir, वो it should be based on the actual funding that we are asking for. For example, if we are asking for the seed funding, or should it be based on maybe like Series A funding or something? And even if it is the seed funding, you said because हमारे पाकिस्तान में जो अगर venture capitalists बैठे हैं, तो हमने बताना यार अच्छा मुझे अभी 1 करोड़ चाहिए, उसके बाद 1 करोड़ चाहिए होगा, फिर 1 करोड़, लेट्स से अगर टोटल 5 करोड़ है, तो हमारा जो ये ग्राफ बनेगा फाइनेंशियल प्लान वाला, so it should be based on 1 करोड़ जो भी हम इनिशियली कह रहे हैं, it should be based on 5 crores, because हमारा yes sir.
So this will be based on the finance, because आपने this chart comes after the ask, right? The reason is after the ask is because कि अगर आपने ये हमसे ये पैसे मुझे मिले, so this is what I'm going to provide you. I'll get a break even within 50 units, or within 3 years I have a break even point. हाँ, अगर आपने दूसरा, if you give me more money, then my profit margin goes up, and the thing is, and also my payback period reduces to 2 years, right? So इस तरह से then you can provide that this thing. Here I've shown a very simple one case.
ठीक हो गया सर, ये बात मुझे बिल्कुल समझ आ गई.
I have one question regarding this same thing. So for example, हमारा ऐसा कोई स्टार्टअप है जो अभी बिल्कुल इनिशियल स्टेजेस में है, और कोई इतनी ज़्यादा यूनिट्स उसने सोल्ड किए नहीं है. So our cost per unit would be from only those units, या हम कुछ ballpark estimate करके लगाएं, या फिर
estimate बिल्कुल estimate करें, बिल्कुल absolutely estimate करें, but estimate has to be based on has to be reasonable estimate, right?
All right, and anything that comes under the criteria of being reasonable.
I mean, remember, the people who you're talking to are experienced people. They will understand. आपने cost of material आपने ये लिए, ये market की assessment है, so you make reasonable assumptions and say, okay, I'm assuming this number, this is the material cost, assuming this is what my cost comes. That's it.
All right.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है.
तो मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था सर कि
सर ये हम सारे फंड
नहीं होनी चाहिए सर हमारी. तो सर हमने कोई फंड रेज करना है, तो हमारा स्टार्टिंग में इन्वेस्टर को कितनी इक्विटी देनी चाहिए जो एक अच्छी होगी, ऑप्टिमाइज्ड होगी, ना बहुत ज्यादा ना बहुत कम?
That's a very interesting question. Equity that is up to you कि आप how big a piece of the pie you want to share. And again equity comes in के investment. अगर कोई investor ऐसा है कि जिसके बगैर आप business चल नहीं सकते, and it will be completely off, but if he can come into this thing and he can make a business, then he will obviously ask for much higher equity. He can say 30%, 40%, some 50%, that means they become an equal partner. Then you lose control of the company. So depending on how, so if you're having business, you don't want to give an controlling equity to anybody. What you can then do is you break up your ask into several segments in such a way that you ask 3-4 people. That way you give 10% equity, 20% यहाँ पर. So at least you keep the controlling share and you break the equity different customers. Again, there are many different ways. You have to be smart in how you divide the pie.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है सर, हम सारे फंड के लिए पहले से कहेंगे सर, या पहले सिर्फ डेवलपमेंट के लिए, फिर लॉन्च के लिए और फिर पब्लिसिटी के लिए फिर मांगेंगे सर?
Go in stages. पर आपको प्लान होना चाहिए कि ये मुझे फंड चाहिए as I go through, but at this time मैं सिर्फ इस सेक्शन के लिए मांग रहा हूँ. You know, very clear कि मैं, but अगर इन्वेस्टर ऐसा कि नहीं, I'm going to actually idea मुझे ना पसंद है कि मैं I'm going to give you for next 2 stages. That's there. If आपका प्लान सामने रखा हो, it is much better. Leave the plan and say, but I'm only asking for this from point A to point B at this time, and I will come back to you for point B to point C. But
अच्छा सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है क्या ये सीक्वेंस जो है प्रेजेंटेशन की वही रखनी है जो आपने शो की है, या अपने हिसाब से हम रख सकते हैं?
अच्छा ठीक है.
Just like me. जी.
Let me go back. Good question. So ये जो है this the presentation की this is generally the order, but you can move it around. For example, ask, मैंने कहा कि you can sometimes we can move ask, sometimes you can move the team strategy later on. You can move this around, but as long as कि ये sequence should be clean, कि ये again मैंने और एक चीज को बताई कि story बनाने का है. Story तैयार हो. You should be weaving a story from beginning till end, and you end up at the climax and you summary chart. तो story बराबर हो.
Sir, I have a question.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Assalamualaikum.
About slide number 9. Excuse me if you can. Okay. So यहाँ पे सर ये जो लिखा है कि business, your company is a type of business and who sells product. So अगर if someone just has an idea, which doesn't have a registered business, so what should be like put in here? Some projected company name, or what should come?
Create your name. आपका नाम क्या है? आपका नाम क्या है? क्या नाम? Naveed. Naveed and company.
Okay.
And आपका is it software business or a hardware business or an agricultural business? And I want to sell an app.
All right.
To the farmers who want to measure water content in the soil, which you can't get from anybody else, XYZ companies. That's it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
जी.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, मेरे पास जो आइडिया उसको भी कहीं भी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया गया, मतलब वो आइडिया पूरे पाकिस्तान की बेहतरी की रहा है. मुझे जो फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट बनानी है, जो उसके लिए डाटा बनाना है, वो डाटा तो पब्लिकली हर एक के पास नहीं होता, तो उसके हवाले से मुझे क्या करना चाहिए?
Again, आप assumptions करें, simple numbers आप बनाएं. आप ये अगर presentation chart आपके पास जो मैंने सब चीजें बयान की हैं इस presentation में, if you have this material, this is your feasibility report. You got all the information that you get to get a feasibility report.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
If you can do all this, and you can show, can you do it, and your break even is done within 100 units, or your break in is achieved within 5 years, it's 100% feasible.
Sir,
okay, sir, file हमें मिल सकती है जो आपने आज presentation दी, ये file हमें मिल सकती है?
बिल्कुल, we'll send it to everybody. Yes, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Sir, what is mean by strategic partnership? Sir, इसका क्या मतलब है?
Strategic good question. Strategic partnership का मतलब ये है कि हमने जो टीम बनानी है, they're all adding value. Like ये teams हैं, इसमें ये नहीं कि हम सिर्फ चाचा मामा ताया को हमने जमा किए हुए, which could be important, but you want, as I said, example मैंने दी थी cricket team बनाने की, and not only cricket team for T20, तो उसके लिए जो expertise चाहिए to get a winning team, उसमें कौन से चाहिए. Now एक तो players हो गए, then I want to have also some coaches. I want some coach, maybe that coach is not in Pakistan, that coach is somewhere else. Australia से हम मंगाए, या we need a marketing team जो गए हैं, we need a location जो हमारे पास नहीं है, we are going to team up with Dubai, right? You see the strategic relationship. We need a team partner with a TV company to show you this thing. We need a partnership for TV rights. So you see, ये इस पैकेज को बनाने के लिए कौन सी चीजें हैं जो which will make the whole project successful.
सर ये जो पार्टनर्स हैं, ये हमारे साथ फ्री में तो काम नहीं ना करेंगे, मतलब हमें उन्हें भी तो कुछ देना होगा. तो जो हम इन्वेस्टर्स से अपने लिए अमाउंट ले रहे हैं,
सही बात
उसमें से हमें अपने पार्टनर्स के लिए भी.
सही बात है, बिल्कुल सही बात है. So here if you come back to you ask, remember the ask chart.
जी सर, मैं ये कह रही थी कि
ये जो
सर मैं बोलूं,
ये जो ask, हाँ बताएं, यहाँ पर एक सेकंड, ये मैं आंसर कर दूं. ये
सर मैंने ये
let me answer this question. ये ask में, ask is not only for money. अगर आप जो strategic partnerships बना रहे हैं, उनको pitch करेंगे, देखिए I want you to become partner in my team. तो ये you need to show कि you have a viable business and you form those relationships, and उनसे वो देंगे. For example, TV company है, या you want to get the stadiums from Dubai, तो वो हमारे you need to pitch them. This kind of presentation is done for various people.
Okay,
सर मेरा हेल्थ से रिलेटेड है, तो सर इसमें हॉस्पिटल मेरा स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप होनी चाहिए, या गवर्नमेंट हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट मेरा पार्टनरशिप टीम स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप होगा.
बिल्कुल सही है, वो होगा. फिर आपको अगर लॉन्च करना हो वो प्रोडक्ट को, तो वो you need a pharmaceutical company who can launch that product, and then there's a target hospital. बिल्कुल, that's exactly right.
Thank you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
जी,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. Can I ask a question, please?
बस
डॉक्टर
एक अब दो क्वेश्चन हम लोग ले रहे हैं, एक जैन का और एक मोहसिन अमजद का. मोहसिन आप
जी, मैं बहुत देर से वेट कर रही हूँ. अज़रा हियर प्लीज.
अज़रा टाइम ओवर हो गया, तो
एक ले लेते हैं,
ऐसा इशू नहीं है. कोऑर्डिनेटर से भी आप लोग चीजें जो है ना डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स भी आपको गाइड कर देंगे.
And we will have more of these sessions. इसके बाद हम करेंगे, and as I said, not only
ये
that,
कोई
we will also
पहला
do.
और आखिरी सेशन नहीं है, इसके बाद भी सेशन इंशाल्लाह होंगे आपके लिए, ठीक है.
And we will also do one-on-one भी जो करेंगे, specific questions and specific sectors. Remember, हमारा goal ये है, I want to make sure each and every one of you succeed.
Okay, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, thank you. So मेरा question ये है कि what can we expect as from this platform as a winning prize? मतलब in the final क्या हम investors को pitch कर रहे होंगे, या हम will we be raising funds, or we will be getting some grant or something as part of this initiative?
I keep saying one thing. The goal of this whole competition is not just the competition. Competition is a way, is a means to an end. Goal of this competition is to make each and every one of you entrepreneurs. तो हमने इस process ले जाकर आपको train करके ले जा रहे हैं. But eventually all of you will eventually be put together. We'll take you in front of investors. We'll take you in front of strategic partners. We will help you to form companies. हमारा goal ये है कि all the winners will have successful companies registered in Pakistan, solving Pakistan problems. We'll do all that. So that is our goal, and I think your goal should be the same thing too. उसमें जितनी भी हेल्प चाहिए, आपको फाइनेंस की हेल्प चाहिए, पार्टनरशिप की हेल्प चाहिए, लीगल हेल्प चाहिए, मार्केटिंग हेल्प चाहिए, टेक्निकल हेल्प चाहिए. We have technical experts around the world who are experts in every field. We all are willing to help you. You are the main things. You are the stars of the show to succeed and form new companies. That is the goal.
Is there a time for a question?
Yeah, I think we're waiting for another meeting going on, but let's take this as the last question.
Oh, thank you. That would be,
I just here I'm Dr. Nimra from Sea Vitals. I just wanted to know in what terms in funding would this organization be helping in, since I recognize working with different startups and having seen different startups, that is one of the biggest blockade that they face, and even we face as such. So is it going to be just being put in front of investors, or is there any funding from the organization itself? Thank you very much.
So since this is the last question, let me, and this is an important question, let me end it here. I strongly believe there is a lot of money and also there is no money, depending how you ask, what is your business. If you have a viable business plan, you show, if I have something, an idea which is really good, and I can show a financial plan which is a break even within 3 years, and all the numbers look solid, there is no one on earth who says, I will not put money in it. Money is always available. You all have to package and it's right. And what we're trying to do is in this whole NIB is to help you structure your programs right, structure your ideas right, structure your business plans right. In the while doing it, it'll help you clarify your own thinking. Jahan par gaps hain, wo fill kare, and isko keep polishing it over and over and over again till you come up with a winning proposition. That is what the goal of NIB is. That's what we're doing. And but there is, I'm 100% convinced there are billions of dollars of money in the market ready for investors, because wo paisa, jiske paas paisa, wo kya karega? They want to invest because they want to get money back, right? So that's how the economy works. So everybody is looking for ideas to invest in, and all you want to do is to take the people with the money, with the ideas, merge them together, and then you have a successful business. That's what NIB's role is. So with that, I think that's a good question to end. It shows what हमारी जो overall partnership है क्या with entrepreneurs and NIB, and where are we going to go with that? So with that, I wish you all very best of luck. And as I said, we are trying to also facilitate to allow you more time to help you improve your presentations, and so that you are all winners. And we'll do that. You'll hear from us very soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, please accept the LinkedIn invitations of those who have sent you to seek your further guidance, please.
Absolutely. I'm here in California. All of you can, I'm available for any help anytime. And that's true. Same is true with all the NIB team.
Yeah, so I already sent you the request on LinkedIn, so please have a look at that when you have some time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I think Khawa, this program is also recorded. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
हाँ, तो इसकी recording भेजेंगे. We'll send you this presentation if anybody wants to see it also. Again, this is a resource you can use. Make the best use of it. चलें, with that.
सर,
हाँ जी
सर, ये प्रोजेक्ट जब हम इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे सर, आप हमारे तो वेबसाइट है सर, वो बन जाएगा, तो सर ये हमसे NIB वाले लेंगे कि सर फिर इसको हम मेंटेनेंस भी अगले हम इसका हम करेंगे?
This is all yours.
क्या सर?
ये प्रोजेक्ट जो है, NIB is a facilitator. NIB doesn't own anything. It's your project.
ठीक है सर, फिर ठीक है।
ये प्रोजेक्ट हम we are not there to we are facilitating this process. ये आपका प्रोजेक्ट है, आपका बिजनेस है. Once you show you how to do, उसके बाद आप लेके जाएं जिस इन्वेस्टर्स में जाएं जो, but we have, NIB is not taking any. All we want to do is for you to succeed. This may sound a strange concept in Pakistan, but that is true. And the reason is कि ये तमाम हमारे जो लोग हैं वो कर रहे हैं, हमने, we all Pakistanis, and what we are thinking is कि this is a way we want to give back to the country, just हमारा प्यारा जो मुल्क है जिसकी वजह से हम हैं जो भी हैं, और हमारा फर्ज ये है कि हम नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को हेल्प करें. तो दिस इज अ गिव बैक, और इसमें ये दिस प्रोजेक्ट्स विल बी ऑल योर्स.
ठीक है
सर. इस लेक्चर की रिकॉर्डिंग मिल सकती है?
जी 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 लैला, सबको रिकॉर्डिंग जो है वो मिल जाएगी। आपके प्रोविंशियल कोऑर्डिनेटर जो हैं वो आप लोगों से कांटेक्ट कर लेंगे, ग्रुप्स में ये शेयर हो जाएगी, ठीक है।
चलें फिर, ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच,
थैंक यू
अस्सलाम
सर
वालेकुम,
बहुत शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू सो मच,
थैंक यू,
Walaikum
अल्लाह
Assalam, sir. Thank you
हाफिज।
so much. Allah Hafiz, sir.
Thank you for your time, sir. Hafiz.
Hafiz.